Here at the headquarters of horse racing in the UK, yes, I'm at Newmarket. Hello and welcome to this very special episode of the Fly Kingfisher Winning Post. And there's plenty on tap today, including a chat with Frankel's trainer Henry Cecil. But before we go there, let's get started with the rest of the news.
Indian racing is on a high, with a new lot of promising juveniles strutting their prowess in the regional derbies. The fresh season of the Indian Classics is not too far ahead, and it's time to take a look at the elite performers of the Derby conquerors. Starting from down south, the Kingfisher Bangalore Derby saw the stakes rise to an unparalleled high with record stakes of over 23 million, even richer than the McDowell Signature Indian Derby. The mystery camp was delighted when Pronto from Imtiaz Seth's yard travelled all the way from Mumbai and beat the local challengers and showcased his potential.
From Pronto, and it's Y.S. Srinath who lands the richest race in the country in great style from Sevastall.
Trotting westward, the Nanoli Pune Derby had a lineup of quality. Two relatively inexperienced horses, Cardinal and Hills and Stars, garnered maximum support. Hills and Stars, owned by the Vadhavan Group, outclassed her rivals in an impressive fashion and made one sit up and take notice. She looked in great touch and dished out a scintillating final finish to hand Cardinal a first loss in his third outing. Hills and Stars won easing up, and that sure is promising for the Indian Classic. Moving to Hyderabad, In the Spotlight scored a thumping victory in the Deccan Derby. The manner of victory suggests that In the Spotlight has immense potential and will improve even further under the care of astute trainer S. Padmanabhan. Going eastward, the impressive Royal Calcutta Racecourse is home to yet another star juvenile, Dandified. Owned by the Khaitan String and trained by Vijay Singh, Dandified won the Kolkata Derby in a canter. He has shown marked improvement with each run, and some say he's yet to peak. Dandified has all it takes to be a champion, and he certainly will be making travel plans to Mumbai. The picturesque Mysore Racecourse hosted the Poonawalla Mysore Derby, and Harish Mehta owned Field Marshal, trained by Padmanabhan, managed to shrug off a late challenge from Southern Bay. Field Marshal's fighting qualities will surely come in handy for the Indian Classics on the sprawling Mumbai straight.
Well, it's time for a short break out here. We'll come right back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Fly Kingfisher Winning Post. Now, British Champions Day isn't just the most prestigious or the richest day of racing in the UK. It also tossed up a great champion. Quipco Champions Race Day on the 15th of October was the first of sorts in many senses. Apart from the prize money of over £3 million making it the richest day of racing in Great Britain, it also boasted 2 Group 1 races from a total of 5 group races. The first-time inclusion of the QE2 Stakes also stamped the day as the year-end championship day in Great Britain. Run over the Ascot track, first up was the Group 3 Quipco Champions Long Distance Cup over 3,200 metres. While Opinion Pole from the Godolphin Yard was the Strong Fancy, Fame and Glory from Aidan O'Brien's yard had found the form that saw him run second in the Epsom Derby as a 3-year-old.
We set on their way and we're off, from British Champion Series Day is underway, and in the early stages Eternal Heart in the pale colours sets just a steady pace. Gibberta King in the pink jacket, nose banded, and on the fence is Fame and Glory. Opinion Pole just trying to kiss his heels as they straighten, and Fame and Glory tries to move away. Time's up, he's shaken in second place. Then Naham, Opinion Pole towards the outside, Eternal Heart and Colour Vision. A furlong and a half to go, and Fame and Glory has a break on Time's Up, who's labouring. Naham and Opinion Pole are out after the leader. Over a furlong to travel, Fame and Glory. Opinion Pole pursuing as he did in the Gold Cup from Naham. Fame and Glory is getting tired in front. Opinion Pole, Colour Vision and Naham are all bearing down on the leader, but Fame and Glory took the race by the scruff of the neck and will follow up the Gold Cup success to win the first race on British Champions Day.
Fame and Glory returned to his best following 2 lacklustre runs in Ireland despite having won the Ascot Gold Cup earlier. He used his speed to make a decisive move which helped him hold off Opinion Pole, who was closing at the wire. Next up was the 1200-metre Group 2 British Sprint Stakes, and John Murtagh was astride the favourite Deacon Blues in what was clearly the most competitive race of the day.
The runners are all loaded away and they're off and racing. And from the stalls, Prime Defender jumps out well. Genki crosses behind the field. Silverside Society Rock are prominent on the far side, and right up the rails goes Hooray. So it's Hooray and Prime Defender who cut out the running, passing the 5. Deacon Blues is on the rails, tracking the leaders, with Silverside, Jimmy Styles just behind the pace with Whizkid, then Medician Man. Society Rocks towards the centre with Ladies Are Forever. The noseband of Night Carnation towards the stand side, the green cap of Moonlight Cloud, big white face of Royal Rock still towards the tail of the field at the moment. We have Genki, who was steady when the stalls opened, Defeef on the outside, and Medician Man is still towards the rear as well. It's Hooray who leads the field, who all at the moment travelling really well. Lebrano towards the outside, Jimmy Styles. Society Rocks met trouble in running, having to change course as Whizkid tries to improve from the back. Moonlight Cloud is also barging the way through towards the near side rail. Deacon Blues has got to the front. Whizkid, Lebrano, Royal Rock's white face. Moonlight Cloud's had a torrid trip. It's Deacon Blues who's in front as they enter the final 150 yards. Whizkid out in the clear is running on strongly, but Deacon Blues is too good. Deacon Blues wins from in second, Whizkid tight third, Royal Rock and Lebrano.
The Fillies and Mares Stakes was the next one on the cards, and this Group 2 contest over 2,400 metres had a very talented lineup. Van Empire had run second in the Irish Oaks and was expected to run a big one. Verdus, who had won 3 of her 4 career starts, was another who was expected to put in a good performance. Dancing Rain, the winner of the Epsom Oaks, was also in the lineup, and clearly she was here to demonstrate that her Oaks victory was no flash in the pan.
They're off and racing for this Fillies and Mares Stakes, and Dancing Rain, who made every single yard to win the Oaks, is amongst those that show up prominently. Gertrude Bell up the inside rail is also ensuring that the pace is genuine enough early on. Meisner settles in third. The sweating Vita Nova is in fourth place early on, with Verdus, who's just 3 wide on the outside of Ban Emperor early on. Bible Belt is towards the tail of the field at this stage, in company with Crystal Capella brushing out wider, and Kill Relic is towards the tail. So they're making their way down the hill, and out in front the Dancing Rain from Gertrude Bell, who switched off the rails to sit outside the leader in second place. Racing in third place then towards the inside, we have Vita Nova of Meisner, yellow colours of Verdus covering up Ban Emperor at this stage. Then Bible Belt, who is in midfield just ahead as they turn at the far end of the likes of Brushing, Crystal Capella and Kill Relic still at the rear of the field. While Dancing Rain continuing to press on and races as they turn up the hill with an advantage of 4 to 5 lengths over Gertrude Bell, who races in second place. Vita Nova is in third, the red jacket just ahead of the blue colours in fourth place of Meisner. Ban Emperor is in fifth, just ahead of in sixth towards the outside Verdus as they pass the 6. Bible Belt Brushing, Crystal Capella, last year's winner with the white face, and the grey Kill Relic at the rear of the field. So out in front, Dancing Rain, looking for a second win of the day for Johnny Murtagh, leads at this even pace. Gertrude Bell racing in second. Behind these in third, Vita Nova on the inside of Meisner. Verdus on the outside of Ban Emperor. Bible Belt's partner is Brushing, and Crystal Capella and Kill Relic are the last two with half a mile to travel. It's Dancing Rain who leads from Gertrude Bell. Vita Nova in third, Meisner in the blue. Ban Emperor. Verdus is struggling, being strongly ridden in sixth place, passed by Bible Belt. Crystal Capella is caught up in a little bit of traffic at the top of the straight, where Dancing Rain is asked to stretch. Dancing Rain from Gertrude Bell, Vita Nova, then Meisner, Ban Emperor. Amongst horses, Bible Belt for Ireland is making smooth progress. It's Dancing Rain who's moved through the lead. Bible Belt coming out of the pack. Ban Emperor, Gertrude Bell. Behind these, Vita Nova has no more to give. Crystal Capella is changing course inside the final furlong. Dancing Rain very grittily from the front, and now Bible Belt is struggling to get past the leader. Dancing Rain, the Oaks winner, is going to win another major race. Dancing Rain it is who won. In second, Bible Belt, tied for third, Gertrude Bell and Crystal Capella, who didn't get the run of the race. Then Meisner, and Kill Relic was next.
It's very disappointing in the red down there on the rails, never really got going. Ban Empire's run her in the white colours there. She's run her normal game race, but just not good enough. I mean, Crystal Capella was the only one. You see she's right at the back there in an impossible position, but she's not exactly running away, and she's under the pump already. I just think she's run like a lot of Sir Michael. She's just run a wee bit flat more than anything. You know, she didn't run with much sparkle, did she? She stayed on well enough. Gertrude Bell's run a sound race back there in third, but to be fair, whichever way you look at it, whichever way you analyse it, the best horse has won.
The best horse has won, and yet here in the UK, I think she's around 6-1. So.
It was after this that a hush was heard around the track as Frankel, the Wonder Horse, entered the parade ring for the Group 1 QE2. Excelebration had run second to Frankel at Royal Ascot and was expected to produce a possible challenge, as was the case with the French filly Immortal Verse. They had all, however, shown up to battle a giant.
And they're off and racing for the QE2, and Bullet Train is fast out as Frankel is restrained on jumping, and Bullet Train blasts off down the middle of the racecourse, leading from Dick Turpin and Dubarwi Gold, who are the first ones to give chase. Dick Turpin markedly so. Frankel just a little keen, head to one side, racing on the outside of this stage of Excelebration. Behind these, the yellow jacket of Side Glance, who's also pretty free. Immortal Verse under restraint in company with Poet's Voice. They're making their way down towards the 6 furlong point, and Bullet Train is clear by about 4 to 5 lengths over Dick Turpin in second. Dubarwi Gold is in third. Excelebration with Frankel in about 4th or 5th place at the moment. Behind these, the blue jacket of Poet's Voice. And then we have the keen Side Glance, and Immortal Verse is held up at the rear of the field. So Bullet Train out in front, still with a clear advantage. And now Frankel, in the group at the centre, is sent off pursuit of the pacemaker. Dick Turpin and Dubarwi Gold deciding where they're going to go. Dick Turpin heading towards the stand side. Excelebration with Poet's Voice, Immortal Verse and Side Glance. Bullet Train, the pacemaker, still has a lead of about 5 to 6 lengths. Frankel is towing up the main group with Excelebration, Poet's Voice, Immortal Verse, white and green, beginning to steal closer. 2 furlongs out, the moment of truth as Frankel moves alongside Bullet Train. Immortal Verse in danger of running up the back of the pacemaker. Frankel is asked to stretch, has found 2 to 3 lengths from Excelebration and Immortal Verse. Frankel being held together. Excelebration 2 lengths down. Frankel now in full cry. Excelebration and Immortal Verse, 2 quality horses are made to look mere mortals as Frankel remains unbeaten and wins the QE2.
Frankel is clearly the best horse in Europe, if not the world, this year, and will remain in training as a 4-year-old for Henry Cecil. Finally, the horses entered the parade ring for the 2000 meters champion trophy. So You Think had run the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe just 2 weeks ago, but was expected to put in a good one for Aidan O'Brien. Circus d'Aigle, however, from France with Christophe Soumillon on board, but had shown up at Ascot to provide a major upset.
And they're off and racing. Dubai Prince jumps out well from the wide gate. Frankie, however, not inclined to press on as Ransom Note, So You Think, and Nathaniel underneath him begin to press forward. Cirrus des Aigles with the Cecil pair midday and twice over, ensuring that a few Snow Fairies on the inside without a little wider. As now Nathaniel strikes for home. 2 furlongs out. Nathaniel, the move covered by So You Think, has got to within half a length. Cirrus des Aigles, Snow Fairy towards the outside, twice over, can't go on. Midday tries to stay on, So You Think, and Cirrus des Aigles, then Snow Fairy looking for an out underneath the pair. Will we switch to the outside? Midday and Green Destiny. Cirrus des Aigles on the outside of So You Think. Snow Fairy is back in third. Cirrus des Aigles on the near side for Christophe Soumillon. Cirrus des Aigles, the Champion Stakes goes to France. Cirrus des Aigles the winner.
In what turned out to be a fascinating day of horse racing, it was also clearly the best day of horse racing that the UK has ever seen. Well, on that note, it's time for us to take a short break here. We'll be right back with Henry Cecil. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, and as cliched as this sounds, well, I am with the legend, Sir Henry Cecil. Sir Henry, thank you so much for talking with me.
Pleasure.
Well, it's been, let's start with this year. It's been such a year, hasn't it, 2011, and Frankel has really brought sunshine to your stable, hasn't he?
Yes, he has. I mean, I've had to rely on him and a few older horses. My 2 years are backward and everything. And Frankel's definitely sort of now sort of in the hearts of a lot of people. They sort of he's recognised a lot. He's done terribly well, and he's a champion. Hopefully, he'll go on to be.
Well, that's interesting. You know, the last time Khalid Abdullah had a really great champion that was Dancing Brave. That was back in 1986. He didn't train on to his 4-year-old career. The decision to train on, how difficult was that?
Well, I think he's a horse that he was difficult early on. He used to be a little bit free and pull and everything, and now he's settled down and learned how to race and everything. And you don't get a horse like that every day. You know? I mean, you know, it's once in a lifetime people have horses like that.
If they're lucky.
And you know, they're bred to race, and he's bred to stay on and train on, and I'm sure he will too. I think he'll be a stronger horse next year. Another thing is sort of going over a slightly longer trip as well. You know, he can do a mile or a mile and a quarter. Yeah.
Well, that's right. Well, his pedigree suggests that he could stay much further. He's by Galileo. His half-brother certainly did stay. How tempting has it been this year for you to actually possibly take him a bit longer than you have?
Well, I would have taken him longer if he was retiring this year, but I think as he's staying in training next year, we can do either a mile or mile and a quarter. I think that'll probably be as far as he'll go. I mean, there's quite a lot of speed on the dam side, and I think he'll be, you know, with luck, you know, he'll be very effective. Now he's settling well at a mile and a quarter because he's got a certain amount of speed.
Talking about his earlier career, let's go back and remember the 2000 Guineas. What were you thinking? What was going through your head when he actually came down into the dip?
I thought, God, we've gone too fast. He's going to stop very suddenly. And he wasn't getting tired. He had just been in front too long, yeah.
He began to idle.
Idle a little bit, yeah.
All right, let's. What's he like back at home? What's he like in the stable in the morning?
No, he's good. I mean, he's quite sort of hot-blooded. I mean, he's always trying to pull his rugs off, and you know, we have to be very careful what rug we put him on. And you know, you put a sort of medium-sized rug on, you think it's a little bit cold, and he decides at 10 o'clock at night that he's too warm, and he tries to get over his head. So you know, we have to monitor him. You know, we do have cameras and things, and change things around. He is quite hot-blooded. I mean, he does sort of, although he's very calm and he couldn't care less about anything. I mean, he'll sweat between his back legs, you know, which, you know, normally one doesn't like that in a horse. Right. In his case, it's just him. I mean, he's always scratching and itching, and he's just a little bit hot-blooded.
So, Henry, talking about your career, the option to become a trainer, it was such a long time ago, but do you remember how that all happened?
Well, anyway, I mean, I only came into the racing world. I'm a bit of a freak. Eh? Some of the racing sort of fraternity go back to the days of Fred Archer, and they probably intermarried, and they haven't all got withered hands, but they've intermarried, and they're, you know, they're very closely related and everything. And I'm not a racing family at all. My father was killed before I was born, and my mother married a trainer. And
from there on, you know, the trials, the tribulations, I've worked with horses, so I know how difficult it can be, but the optimism that there's always tomorrow, is that what kept you going?
I mean, I went through a sort of stage when everything was sort of, you know, I had some very good times for years and years and years, and then I had 5 years in the doldrums, and you don't like to go out and sort of has-been, you know, poor old Henry, you know. So I'm always quite determined I was always determined to try and get back a little bit, and things are going much better.
And if there was a formula to your success, would you be able to say what that was?
Well, it's a way of life, and I think trainers got to be patient, you know? And the sort of horse I have, you know, a lot of late maturing horses, you've got to be patient. You know? So 3 things. My late father-in-law, Sir Noel Mellis, always said to me, 3 things about training. 1 is patience, 2 is patience, and 3 is patience. Well,
you've always had some fine jockeys riding for you. You've had Steve Hawthorne, you've had Lester Piggott, you've had some great horses as well. Grooming a young rider like Tom Queally, what's that been like?
Yeah, and he's coming on very well. And he's talented, and he's young, and he's going very well. Now he's getting his confidence, and he's ridden, I suppose, I don't know how many Group 1 winners for me, must have been 16 or 17, I think. No, he's doing fine, and I'm very happy. I like having my own jockeys. You know? I don't like sort of just getting the best jockey available, because I know if I drive a car, I get into a car I've never driven before, it takes me a little time getting used to it. And I always think that, you know, teamwork and getting used to the horse and everything makes a lot of difference.
Now, compared to some of the others you've worked with, I've read some interviews where you've referred liken Frankel to a horse like Waller. I mean, how would you compare him to the others in your life?
I've been lucky, you know. I mean, I think sort of good horses make successful trainers and jockeys, you know. I think if I have bad horses, I'm a bad trainer. You know, a jockey's riding bad horses and he can't take a position in the race, and he's a bad jockey, you know. So, you know, you have to thank the horses, really. And I've been very lucky over the years for training for a lot of owner breeders, and that I've had some marvellous colts and fillies through my hands, you know. And they're all different distances, you know. I've had marvellous Gold Cup horses, and Derby horses, and Oaks fillies, and Guineas fillies, and Guineas horses and things. So they're all different, and they've all been so good to me. You can't really compare. I wouldn't want to compare an Osho Sharp, who won a Triple Crown, with a Frankel. All I can say is Frankel is out of the ordinary, and as long as everything goes right and he stays sound, and there's every chance he'll be a much better horse next year.
And Sir Henry Cecil, as a person outside of the world of horse racing, what is he like? What are some of the things he likes to do outside of horse racing?
I don't know. I think it's rather work. I mean, I haven't got many hobbies. I like my garden, and I love shopping. I'm a compulsive shopper. My mother was, and so I must have sort of female hormones. But most men hate. Most men hate shopping. I mean, I'll shop in London all day long for a week. I don't mind what I'm looking for. I mean, whether I'm looking for ladies' clothes or antiques or jewellery or anything, I don't really mind. But I mean, I do love shopping, which is rare for a man.
Well, that's certainly true. And
I do like other. I mean, I love shooting. I mean, I was brought up shooting.
Really?
And I've shot all my life.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was a hobby, but I haven't done very much lately.
All right. Well, Sir Henry Cecil, thank you so much for your time. It's been a privilege and a pleasure to speak to the man who's trained some great racehorses and who, in his own right, as I said at the start of this, is a legend. Well, that's all we have on this episode. I'm Mohit Lalwani, thanking you, and I'll see you on the next episode. Goodbye.
Kingfisher winning post is powered by the Serum Institute of India and Hirco Industries.